Recording in progress. The charter commission meeting for October 9th, 2025, Thursday, is now called to order. I would like to have the pledge of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
Justice for all.
I would like to have prayer. We have a silent prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come,
Thy will
on earth
as it is in heaven.
give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. May I have a roll call, please?
Honored.
Here.
Learned.
Here.
Brett. Deborah, are you here?
I am here.
That's seven, that does establish quorum.
I would like to now have public comment. Is there anyone who have a list with as of 10:09? We have Handoff and Balmer Dunford. Oh, okay. Ms. Dunford, please.
Thank you. Although I'm not currently residing in Reading, I grew up on North Fourth Street and Greenwich Street, and I raised my family on Firm Street. I'm interested in the charter because when I was living in Reading a long time ago, I did my graduate work studying form of government, how different charters were written for cities and counties. So as a result of that, I ran for city council, formerly mission form of government, and turning over to first mayor council government in the 90s. And one thing I've learned in my 25 years managing municipalities in Pennsylvania and in Massachusetts is that the preferred form of government is the council manager form, not the mayor council form, which we have here. And although mayor forms can be very good, I'm not saying it's not for the city of Reading. But at that time, when the charter was passed, the commission itself, because I was very clued into it, I've advocated for it, passed that charter and talked about that charter as though it was not the best form of government, but the one they thought they could get passed. So at that point in time, that's what the thought was. And I think among the professionals that I've worked with for the past 25 years, it's general agreement, council manager, forms of government are generally better than mayor council forms. And the reason for that is that in council manager form, the city council hires an at-will employee, that is somebody they can hire and fire, who has credentials, who has sworn an oath of ethics general to his proper way to run it, and has background and experience and education to do so. So I've done that a number of times in most states. And as a result, those municipalities generally are financially more stable, generally less corruption, and they just tend to be more stable. So I'm asking you to, in your deliberations, to consider whether the city should take that step to put forward a council manager rather than a mayor council government.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Is there any other comment?
Usted no habla.
Oh, we want to introduce ourselves. We are the Hispanic Cancer Society of Pennsylvania. For more than a year now, we are volunteering in the community, like giving workshop, and it's gonna be our second annual work also, like prevention and also awareness of cancer, all type of cancer. We are located on history, if you want to know history. We offer a workshop and any kind of support that for the patient, for the cancer patient may need. And we also want to invite the community to support us through different ways. Like, especially since we are all volunteering and we have those supports, we would like the community to get involved and also to let them know that we're here to help them, whoever is a cancer patient. Because we have Nancy Fonseca, she's with St. Joseph Hospital, and she's willing to, so she's been supporting us. She's part of the committee. They are taking decision about whether we're gonna take our resources on this or that's a specific matter. Right now, she's not here today, but she's said somewhere else. Yeah, committee. But we want to, the community to know that we're here for them, that they can count on us in any way possible. Like, even if it's like taking them to the chemo, they don't feel like going by themselves, or they don't have the desire, because most people, when they're going through that, they know that they say that the chemo gonna save their life, but they don't have that. They say support everybody. Doesn't have to be Hispanic, specific, or Latinos, or everyone here for the community. And on October the 25th is gonna be our second annual work. So all of you have flyer, and it's gonna be at 2 p.m. We are trying to be asking for the donation, and we're going to be offering t-shirts.
Good, thank you. We knew that the month of October was Cancer Awareness Month. So we did try to support our friends and family that have either gone on or are still thriving with cancer. And so we did attempt to wear our pink.
Yes.
So we wanted to make sure that this month is truly awareness. There's some things that there needs to be done in terms of our community, but I will get to that when I have my opening comments. Thank you very much, and thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, was there anything, Brenda, correct?
That's me.
That's you, oh, okay.
And I'm a cancer survivor, myself as well. I'm the third sister who recently got survived cancer.
Is that were you from Reading?
I've been
Have you
here
been
7 years.
7 years.
But
Were
I
you-
was diagnosed here,
You were diagnosed here?
yes.
Okay.
It was 2018,
And where did you live prior to that?
New York.
Thank you.
Since we opened up a comment, and I'll get with you, Nan, in terms of responding to you. Thank you for your input, I appreciate it. I'll have open remarks, and then I'll have the approval of the minutes. I just wanted us to be aware of what we've been able to do thus far. And I think as a team that we're coming along very well. And I give all of you kudos for being tentative to this process. We have established the commission. We have been able to deal with all of our executive branch. It would be myself as the commission, as the chairperson of the commission. And then we had two vice chairs, Tanya and Sheila Perez, Tanya Melendez. We did have a secretary, but Adela has since resigned. So that's bad news for us today, but we'll get over it. And we'll look to perhaps deal with that as we go forward. The other thing is we have Deborah Bradford as our treasurer. So we do have that, and we have established Monday morning, and I think we have to go to Monday evening now, executive meetings, so that we can put together the things that we need to do as executive. We also were able to identify the support of IT. It was established, and after 3 meetings with Kent and 2 with Eric, we now have our BCTV presence. We now are on the web, the city's web, as well as each one of you should have a link for your individual videos. So I'll get that out. They just sent that to me. So every one of you can have the link for the last, I believe it's 4 meetings. 4 meetings. Also, we were still looking at hiring a translator, and that's still pending. That's still pending. Also, we did review the entire charter, even though we were silenced by not having two accesses to the community. We now will have that. So we're going to be able to make sure that those information is going out to the public. Okay. Also, that education also has to be confined also to the charter board when you get established, because I know that's one of your responsibilities, to make sure that the charter is understood by the general public. So we're more than helping. I also talked with Councilman Jamie Baez, and he was also telling me that he was able to get the translation. It was not legally certified, so we're still not there yet. Okay, to be able to have that certification, legal certification for the home charter. And if you guys need the charter, let us know. We'll make sure. Okay. The other thing is also, we did say that about. Now, there's a lot of questions and answers in terms of the charter. People have shown that they are interested. So we have to make sure that we get out these, I think we need to get a format so that we can be able to identify who, what we need in terms of publications and then also what would be the cost, if any. Okay. We also did the review of the past commissions, and those may need to be audited. Now, when I say audited, that just means being able to look at the things that were accomplished as well as the things that may have been a violation. We also wanted to do an impact of the past reviews, because there have been some things that have been brought to our attention that they need to be corrected, or at least be given an opportunity to be corrected. Okay. We did adopt a quorum, and we said it would be a majority of 7. And we were looking at a 2-hour meeting, although I believe sometimes the meetings will be a little longer. We also stated that a consecutive absence, we said 4.
3.
Did we say 3? Okay. 3 consecutive absences with no notification. We need to deal with that. Also, there was established the $20,000 budget. It was established in 2013-14. So we're just waiting for the ordinance that puts that in place. Okay. We did have the report from the solicitor that he did speak with the financial director, and he was giving us at least $7,000 to get us started. I did speak with him as well, and that's exactly what he had said. But there is an established $20,000 budget. Okay. The things that are pending, the letter to City Council, also the barriers about the Spanish language, and we're still dealing with some of the barriers simply because we don't have a transition that's going to give us a subtitle in Spanish. So that's something that the IT is working, and they said they might have to buy a application. Okay. Now I consider I'm considering that we are now working in a collaboration within the Home Rule Charter Review Board. Everybody is continuing to be able to collect information and share information. So we're moving now into a good collaboration. And of course, we still want to have that home rule charter in Spanish. Okay. And some of the public comments that we heard that there needs to be moral and ethical actions. There was a person who said that it was a language barrier because they are not able to participate because of a language barrier. And there was a lot of interest in learning about the charter. And then also someone said that public comment should not be restricted to 2 minutes. And then someone else said that the charter review should be published. Well, as of today, we have those publications that are going to be on BCTV and then also on the web. So those are the kinds of things that in the public comment was, there was interest in that public comment. Okay, are there any questions or concerns of what I have shared?
No, can I ask one question?
Sure.
Of those that are present here, do you guys know what this is? Do you know what it represents in the city of Reading? This is the constitution for the city of Reading. Our elected officials are bound to working within these guidelines that were ratified and approved in 1993 and transitioned into existence by 1996. Okay, I have been to the library and I have reviewed the original workings as it relates to how it was ratified and what discussions took place with the then transition committee and whose positions were discussed. I discovered a lot of things. And one of the things that I discovered was in the original, there was an organizational chart where the voters were on the top and the mayor and council were beneath the voters. That's missing. Okay, so this is an educational tool that most definitely needs to be translated. We pushed for the translation since 2019, and here we are in 2025, still no translation with over 70% of the people, Afro-Latino Hispano people, that have a huge voting block, have no idea what this is. And now we're asking you to give us input so that we can help make this better for the citizens as a whole. Okay?
Thank you, I
You're welcome.
appreciate that. And now I would like for you to review the, yes, go
I
ahead.
want to let you know that I swear on the Tuesday the seventh.
I'm sorry.
took my oath on Tuesday the seventh.
Oh, you did, okay.
As a
Excellent.
home charter board member,
For charter, that
Excellent. Very good. We look forward to the help and the support, both sides.
I have a comment
Yes, go ahead.
to Madam Chairperson. You were speaking to the budget, and I'm your treasurer. Do we have anything yet that can be shared with me in writing that shares what is being allocated for funding?
don't have anything in writing at this
Can we, last week we discussed it, where are we in getting an email or a letter of sorts that lets me know exactly where the budget is as of today so that we can move forward?
If we look at the financial director, and perhaps he can give us a letter, as he stated, with myself and also with the solicitor, to allow that $7,000 to be allocated. And then the city council will have to, but we were looking at the ordinance that put in the 2013, and that ordinance would have been still appropriate for today. So let's work on that. And Dee, I think that if you want to talk with Ed and also Jamar, we can make that happen.
Okay, I will reach out to you, Ed. I'm not sure who Jamar is, but I just want to get something in writing before I move in any direction to approve or spend any dollars.
So we should have that by next meeting.
That would be awesome.
but wasn't it stated that Jamar had already approved the 7,000?
No, I think it was Danbury, right?
No, I believe I have an email confirming the allocation, $7,000. But
But what?
I gotta take notes, so I'll look at the email.
May I please be copied on any emails about the budget for this commission moving forward?
Yes, why not?
Thank you.
All right, so now we need to put, yeah, we need to approve the minutes. Did everyone get a chance to review the minutes? Is there anything that needs to be corrected or changed or anything that needs to be addressed?
I would just like to say thank you because they looked wonderful and it's a lot of work that goes into creating these. So great job.
So if there is no, let's do a vote so that we can approve the minutes. Can I have a vote? Thank you, Dan. Is there a second? Okay. Second by Sheila. And all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, and we're at the part in which we will then consider the strategic plan. And I would like us to have some discussion about this strategic plan. Does anyone have any comments or concerns? No? Okay. Okay, now I'm going to say this. Since we are now collaborating and putting our things together in terms of how we want to work them out, I think that it's important that we take ownership of our commission process and then also be able to collaborate because everybody now is contributing, and it's really important that we make this part of our the collaboration is a part of charter review. Does anybody have any objections to that? No, because that's the hope that we're all in this together and that your valuable information is appreciated and also your ideas. So as we move this further, it now becomes the Charter Review Commission strategic. That is anyone.
Anybody have a problem with that?
No, it is. Okay, very good. Yeah, I can. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Say that again. Yes, very good. Anyone else? Now, because Adele has left us, we still have the matter of the council letter, mayor and council. And I think we should move on with it, and as Ann, you said, to wait till after the month of October to submit that. You said that. So I think it would be able to not be premature if we waited to the end of the month, then we would have had an ample amount of time to mull it over or to approve. Correct, okay. So I'm sorry that Adela is not with us, but she has left something there behind, okay? So at the end of the month, we will then, review that letter again so that we can send it out. Okay, and that would be from the commission. Okay. Yeah, we still haven't had any response in terms of the interpretation of the interpreter service. And that's still pending. And we're looking to see the idea.
How can we, I'm sorry, but I need to make a comment as it relates to that. How can we hire an interpreter when we still don't have the appropriation? And the only appropriation that we have thus far is $7,000. So I think that perhaps maybe we can begin by establishing quotes, getting quotes from people who can, or organizations or agencies that can provide those interpreter services for commission meetings. I think it's very important as we continue to go forward, because we're utilizing the commission to do outreach and education for the public. And most especially in Spanish, because it's been neglected for so many decades at a time. So that would be my proposal, and it's urgent for me. It's urgent for me, and it's personal. Because we're talking about Afro, Latino, and Hispanic people that have been neglected in terms of outreach and education for decades. And this is personal.
Sheila, are you asking for a dollar amount to spend for outreach?
Deb, hold
Hold
on.
on a minute, because
Hold on a second. Anne had a question and she was speaking, okay?
Oh, I
Hold on.
couldn't hear her at all.
Sorry.
I've been under the impression that Cal, the person we were going to hire, the money was allocated to the city. And it sounds like $7,000 would be enough to start. So, if it's that way, I'm so. I would have been
Somebody else?
no.
Yeah.
I had a friend, she had a license. This lady, again, we passed. Sabrina, she had a bank for that. She's a Hispanic girl, but she had a license.
Thank you.
I think you know her.
Now, there was a pending. We did not, move forward with Raquel simply because the issue was the money. So now if Ed has the email that says, okay, that can be allocated, then do we want to, because we never took a vote whether or not we were going to choose. Maybe we'll hold it up. If you speak, if. Okay, when could you start? Okay, could you start next week?
That would be ideal.
Okay.
I can get her on the phone if you want. I know. I can get her on the phone. Let me explain.
Let me take. Now, Deb, go ahead.
I couldn't hear the conversation, so please keep that in mind that whatever you guys have just said, I was unable to hear it. But my comment is, Sheila, you were speaking to the outreach, and I wanted to know whether you were looking for an allocation of funds for that. And my second part, and it's a little bit longer, so bear with me for a moment. As we talk about what we need in translation services, especially those that need to be certified, legally certified. We've got two levels of data here. The first is what happens in this weekly meeting. the agenda, the minutes, and the actual meeting itself. Those items can be translated with the systems that the city of Reading already has without spending any more money. It's just a behavior adjustment to upload Microsoft Word documents instead of PDF documents, and they do translate. Now, the other part would be translating our final report, the referendums and the logic for each referendum. Those are the things that we actually need to make sure are translated in legal language for our whole entire community. So we need it in English as well as in Spanish. And our chairperson was speaking at the front of this meeting of how this process has not been followed in past commissions, but we want to fix that, whatever needs to be fixed, and move forward. So as we talk about recruiting and spending taxpayer dollars on translation, we are not looking to have anyone come in and record what happens in these meetings because we can do that. And these documents, once they are uploaded in Microsoft Word format, the city has a process already on the website that will translate it. But when we complete our final report, when we complete our surveys to send out, and when we are doing the referendums and their logic, we need to have a service or a person with skills who can translate that to the legal level. So I just wanted to be clear, we're not looking to hire someone to come into these meetings and record what we say and what we do and decisions we make. That's already being done by the city if we follow or change our human behaviors to match with the systems that are in place. But we do need to hire someone to translate the final items and help get them out to the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Any other comments?
Well, my concern is while we're having the meeting, I mean, we're looking at an interpreter for the meetings, for the actual meetings. For the people that are viewing it, whether they're here present or whether they're at home. Making sure that all our meetings are public and people can comment, whether they're commenting via Zoom, whether they're in attendance in person, there should be someone interpreting, and there should be some type of action so that people, as they're listening to the meetings as they're taking place live, can get some understanding and education behind the discussions of the home rule charter and what our purpose is as a review commission. That was my concern. In terms of translator services, I'm in agreement with you in terms of, because if it's a PDF, it will not be translated. But as a Word document, it does get translated. And not all the translations that the city has is the legal translation. But for the most part, it does serve its purpose.
There's two things at work here, and I'm sharing that with all of you. One, we did talk with Eric in the IT, and he was looking at a way in which he could transfer the PDFs into a Microsoft Word document. So that would be able to do the translations. Also, he wanted to make sure that there was going to be a application that it would be able to upload so that it would be simultaneously in Spanish, because we don't need it in Spanish, we don't need it in English, we need it in Spanish, the caption. So those are the things that, again, IT was looking at to see how they can be addressed. Okay, so we have not heard back from them, and I can also find out, and that was just the last week, find out what happened. So
Now,
I think it would be able to help us to move forward with the translation. And then, of course, it has to be the translation in Spanish. That is the charter. The charters is very important. So we're looking at two different issues, but it can be resolved, you know. And I'm hoping that we can do this in a short period of time.
Let me ask you something along those lines, Evelyn.
I want to be able to limit our conversation at this point because we have these survey questions to go over.
Okay.
And I wanted us to be able to have a round robin in terms of what those survey questions look like when we're doing the interviews for the various positions. So I just want us to have time for that.
Okay, but this
Okay,
is very
go ahead,
quick along
go
the lines of translation. I'm not only, let's say, a Vietnamese individual would like to listen in, or a person from China who wants to listen in. Can we get, the, whatever the city's going to purchase, would it be user friendly for any language, not just Spanish? And the only reason we're focusing on Spanish is according to Executive Order 13166, any agency that receives federal dollars must translate in the language of the highest population of a foreign speaking language, which in the city of Reading is Spanish. Okay.
So I just went on, city's website and looked at city council meeting and checked. But there's a thing that's in translation. And it shows from Arabic to whatever.
No, but it doesn't say that in Spanish. I did that for Arby. And when I translated it, I said, let me try Spanish. And when I put it in Spanish, as much as I did say, it just kept going in English. Oh. I wish that it had, but it didn't allow me.
I think for the next meeting, just for a short inquiry, is to have somebody from IT to come to explain and demonstrate what's necessary to make that happen. And whatever they have. So hopefully they'll get a chance. So let's put that on the agenda for the next week. Anyone else? It's very, very important. And as you said, we know that it was 2002, it was understanding that mandate, or should I say, mandate. So this is 2021. So back to your question, Dan, about looking at hiring the reporting secretary. Let's move that in place so that we can have, be able to look at that next week, so we can make a decision. Okay, so let's make that a decision and then a motion, okay, for next week. Okay, so we should have something. Okay. Anything else? All right, as you can see, our meeting schedule is shifting. So from this room to downstairs to the council chambers, they moved back the CRIS meetings so that they're during this time. So we can't use the city council chambers. And on the, I think, Dr. Page, you already have the information to take care of this place, although it's a little different than downstairs, right? But you already got the He instructed you?
Yes.
Okay, so we're good for this space.
Yes. Miss Edmonds is the one who schedules the meeting rooms.
Okay.
I'm just told where to go.
Okay. Good. Okay. Anything else with the meeting rooms for the schedule?
So are we meeting in this room then?
We don't know yet.
Oh, it's because for some reason it wants to reboot. I don't know why. Thank you.
So she offered, make sure that there was ample notice wherever we are. Okay. All right, now here we go. Is there anything else before we go in to the interview questions as of the positions of the city council? I would like to entertain that first. That's our implementation of our first. Plan.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Oh, I shared.
Yes, I do. Okay, share what you said, share what you, contribute.
Each one of them. Here's a local, what we're going to do, start with an introduction. Councilor, who you are?
I need to, can you just speak up so that Deborah can hear? Please, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
First thing I suggest is we should introduce everyone. The committee, including the board, and private role, the city government, the existing charter, any potential changes or amendments to the charter, and suggestions for other initiatives for council and administration to consider. We should start with some things that they might all be familiar with. That's what the home charter talks about. What charter?
Are you or is that your question?
No, that's what the comment is.
Okay, that's okay.
I can read the whole thing.
Okay.
Start with the preface to the city hall charter. Read it.
Yes, please, I would like to.
The city of Reading has over the years passed the process of legislative change common
Speak
many-
louder, I'm sorry.
in many American communities, while only a few simple laws were necessary at the time of the establishment of the city council. Subsequent growth, community, together with the complexity of modern life, has created the need for new and more detailed legislation for the proper function and government of the city council. The recording of local law is an aspect of municipal history and the community develops and changes. Review and revision of old laws and consideration of new laws in light of current trends must keep pace. The orderly collection of these records is an important step in this ever-continuing process. Legislation must be more than mere chronological enactments reposing in the pages of the old records. It must be available and logically arranged for convenient use. It must be kept up to date. It was with thoughts such as these in mind, the city ordered the following codification of the city council legislation. And then follow that with the preamble to the city charter with people of Reading, Berks County, in order to secure the fullest measure of city home rule in response to effective and economical local self-government under the constitutional laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We hereby adopt this charter as our instrument of government. So that would be helpful for council members to understand what it is we're working on, what's driving our activity.
Okay, so you said you would want to read that to them?
I think they did it themselves. Oh, yes, you could read.
Okay,
We got
so
that.
we have a handout.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a handout. Okay.
Yeah, I can resend it again to everybody.
Go ahead.
The Humboldt Charter serves as the basic foundation of governments, much as the federal and state constitution framework for our federal and state government. Of course, there is more city government incorporated. Charter. One thing for the understanding. The charter is sort of the constitution, but it's not all of what applies to cities. Then I have a first question, scale of 1 to 5, 1 being very familiar, 5 being not very familiar. How familiar are you with the charter? That's just to get us some sense as we talk to each one of the council, just how familiar they feel they are with what's in the city charter. Next, Article 2 outlines the basic elements of the Reading City Council. For example, establishment will be 7 members of council, president-elect 5, and the others in 6 districts. Over time, there have been some changes to this term. Subsequent chapters speak to the role of the mayor, certain offices, boards, and commissions in the budget process. So I'm using this as sort of a way of framing the discussion.
In the 15 minutes that we have.
Probably going to follow the 15.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a 15-minute interview with them.
Get it to me before.
We could do that. Okay. Go ahead, Ted.
I think it's important for them to understand what we understand about our jobs. So we can find a role.
I appreciate that, I do.
Some questions for the city council members with reps. Should charter be published in both English and Spanish? Should it be available in both languages on the city website? Do the council districts need to be adjusted based on the population of the city? Should it be adjusted and should it be adjusted after the census? Are there changes in the structure or responsibility? Is the bidding process an outline for appropriate time? There have been some challenges treating city residents to serve on various boards and commissions. One has been a language barrier. Another barrier is the requirement that be considered applicants must be current in paying the tax. Rules for city facilities have no unpaid parking tickets. I think perhaps the last department should be adjusted. Have set a minimum now, 1 paid parking ticket, 1 paid parking ticket. Does it include your appointment? Position board.
Okay, did you read that information in the,
Not in the charter.
and no, not the administrative code?
I'm not the.
Okay, that's important because as we're developing these questions, if I asked you to deal with the code of ethics and also the administrative code.
I haven't gotten it.
Yeah, the administrative code is like, you can go on the internet and then draw it down as you need to. Oh, Linda, you have to call Linda because,
I can do that.
yeah, please do that because it's so important that when we're dealing with this, the things that we're interested in is either in the code or the ethics code.
And I understand that's.
Go ahead.
That's in the ethics code, that's a challenge.
Okay, I'm sorry, but before we continue, to me, this room is not working for the type of work that we're doing. Deborah probably hasn't heard half of what you said. And
Try to shout out.
I know, it's not that. And not only Deborah, but if Deborah can't hear you, anybody else who wants to,
Who's meeting now, right?
I understand that.
Right, continue.
Yes, please continue and try to be voluminous.
I'm sorry.
So I made that suggestion. Should there be expanded opportunities for residents and cities to address city council? If so, what should that be done? Should council have a role to play? The mayor seeks to dismiss the department. That's under section 6.3. Reading is the history of. Reading has had a history of lead abatement and lead in drinking water. There is some significant blighted property. Some residents lack reliable water, sewer, and housing plans. The recent changes in Medicaid, Medicare, and CHIP, there's a possibility that the number of uninsured residents will increase. At the same time, the termination of immunization would help some residents. Reading is the largest city in Pennsylvania without a public health office. The city explorer created an office. And that's just a suggestion. Others may have suggestions they want to get.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of suggestions at this point. And my goal was to make sure that everything was a part of the charter. You know, we're asking questions that go beyond the role and the
We're
responsibility.
not making amendments to the charter, but we can suggestions to the city council members about things that I want to address.
Yeah, that's fine, but if all of us are gonna do that, then where do we select the questions that we're going to ask them? If we're going to do round robin, we're not doing a survey of them, we're doing an interview of them, correct? So, finished up, what else do you have, Dave?
Charter includes language allowing citizens to rent certain items on the council agenda. How frequently that's his project.
Okay.
So I should put that out there that begin the conversation, because I think we need to have a framework. And I think it's not bad to have some ideas or suggestions of what we think they might want to do, whether they're put in the charter, put the public health charter, they don't think charter, they for you to suggest they adopt that ordinance or something. I was just trying to get it started, get that conversation started, so we have a framework. So, the grand conversation.
Well, I was asking for us to stay germane to their role and responsibility. In Ed, I have to say this to you, Ed, when you sent me the letter, the original letter, you were asking me to have them give us their opinion on whether or not they the charter, if they viewed it or if they wanted to change it. I don't know if it's me, but when we're, when, yeah,
If you don't think they're appropriate, that's fine. But I wanted to-
I'm just exploring that.
Yeah.
We're in the process of exploring
I
that.
think that's fine.
And I'm not shutting anybody down.
No, I
But
understand.
we have, our goal was to make it round robin, right? So each person would have a list of questions that we would ask collectively, that we would have,
And that's all I'm trying to
yes,
do.
okay, that's fine, that's good. And then make
Get
sure
that process.
that when we have the small bit of time, to ask those questions to get, information. But go ahead, Ed.
I'm done.
I mean, are you finished?
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
All right, very good. Yeah.
15 minutes, it's allocated.
No,
We're at 15.
per person, per district. That's what I was under the
15
impression.
minutes
Per
per
person,
district.
yeah, per
Yeah,
district.
and that's why I said it should be limited to the charter, because we're in charter review. And I like what you had to say, because it stretches out, but at the same time, just to answer the question might take more than a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll continue to go around robin so that people can have the questions that they need to ask or want to ask. And then we're gonna have to make a decision as to what questions we need to.
If I can, I think it's important for us to hear the framework. Each member of the city council about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So that's why it's all the connection stuff. I wouldn't necessarily read it. This question, I think, have handed to.
But do you not know they know what we're supposed to
We
do?
do not know that. We do
So
not.
you're
know that.
ascertaining whether or not they know it,
That we
that
know.
they know.
We do not know. We know. what we're doing.
Well, now, wait, now wait, say that again?
We do not know. Sure, that they understand
Oh,
what we're doing, why we're doing what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
That's why I thought that did that as a grant. I think it just handed to say, you need to know this. I think it was a series of questions for you around robin if you want.
We're gonna, then one by one, raise each one of them into the room and then go out.
That's what I would thought. That's what I perceived.
So that
I
they-
don't know if anybody else is, but that's what I perceived.
So that they can, be honest and say what they need to say. And that's why I said it would be important that we make sure we know and have any questions regarding their job description, the position, so that we can give them the benefit of reviewing their,
So it's limited to the role of city council. Not think about anything else, or despite the fact that part of
well, not really, Dave, we can have a series of questions. Right now, we just wanna get to the questions, so this is what your contribution was, okay?
because some other people.
But you actually sparked a
All
question.
right.
So reading from the questions, I love, are there changes in the structure or responsibilities of city council that you feel should be considered? Or changed or modified, or, because that seems to be a topic of, has been coming up a lot. You, at the beginning, you started talking about how the city's government roles used to be different than they are now. Today, we heard from our residents as well, who thought that the city, the powers of the mayor versus city council should be different. And I think asking them straight up, are there any changes in the structure or responsibilities of the city council that you feel should be considered or changed or modified, or however you want to word it? I think it's a great question to ask. Because it goes right along with the charter, but it also goes with what people have been mentioning, not only in this board, but residents.
And not for anything, but when I was doing my homework in the library, it was written that transition, it was a strong mayor form of government. They didn't speak about council, mayor. I didn't see any of that being mentioned.
Right.
And
that's
so
why
Now, I'm
we should
sorry.
address it directly to their position as the structure of the council is today. And do they think it should be different?
Well, and that was addressed in,
It's funny, excuse me, Sheila,
sorry.
it's funny because I get a feeling that there is an underlying agenda that takes place. And there has been a movement to change the city's government when it hasn't even had a chance to even be able to be maintained. And when I say that is because I go to every single council,
And where does she go?
and the whole issue was to change the city government, even to have a consultant come in. And I'm saying, wait a minute, we haven't even had a chance to even work this one out, much less to deal with another type of government. It makes sense now, I understand, because there was a whole movement to change this form of government.
I'm sure that's certainly not what's driving me, it's just.
Not
Not
you, I
you.
didn't say that. I'm talking about my opinion here, okay? And I'm there at every meeting, and I know what's driving this need, because see, when we talk about,
I wrote it, I know what it's driving.
no, I didn't ask, no, that's not what I'm saying. Your impetus is yours, what you decide to do, and I'm not rejecting it at all, Dave. I'm just saying what I feel is happening, okay? So, you,
And I'm sorry, the only reason I'm saying in terms of change of government or a study commission, if it were, and I'm agreeing with Vanessa, I'm agreeing with Vanessa, I'm agreeing with Jamie, because I was at that meeting when they were pushing for city council to vote so that they can put a government study commission on the ballot without educating the people, especially Latin, the Afro-Latino Hispano. They did it for 2020 when in 2021, there's a lot of referendums and a lot of changes that there was no explanation. Articles were named, but no explanation, so the people voted blind, okay? And one of the things that was stated in that meeting that was being driven to change our government, to get the government study so that we can now switch from a mayor council form of government to council city manager form of government. It came from Vanessa. She said, if that initiative was initiated by the people, I would be all for it. But when it's coming from council, I am not gonna support that.
So. But we should, yeah, ask that question.
Let's mull it over, and we'll,
That's what I was trying to do.
yeah, just go ahead, yeah. I'm okay with Dave because everybody has a contribution. And I'm not one to reject anyone's contribution, but at the same time, we know what's happening here. We really do. Behind the need for the public to know, okay? It's really deep, in sense of, I've been here a long, long time. And when I see things that are happening and it's necessary to speak on them, then I know there's a whole whitening of our city. And when I say a whitening, I mean that there are rules being put in place that the citizens don't even have, they don't have the knowledge to even change. So in order for them to know about their government, they have to have it in their language. It has to be it has to be educated. See, the charter board has not done what it was supposed to do. And we're dealing with this because they have not in any way educated the people. Not at all.
That's, you know, I think that's that begin there.
So that's your contribution. And I like what you said, and I understand where you're coming from.
You get across.
To begin the conversation.
Sorry, it's defensive, but I'm not being-
Don't be
No,
defensive.
we just don't want you to
need-
think
there's
that
no
we're
need to
attacking.
be defensive. We're in this together, and we're gonna start it, and we're gonna complete it together. All right? All right.
I make a comment and ask.
Yes, okay.
My comment is that there are people on council now who do not remember any of the former government. They say yes, so. There are also people on council who lived under the old former government, but it was. Commission former government, yes, but they had a department. Great. And there are some people who think that that's what we should go back to. I do not agree that we have to give them a chance, if we give them a good chance. I'm saying we, as citizens of the city of Reading, we've given it a pretty good chance. I think that there are a lot of people who don't know anything about it, and I think that that's true of, they don't know anything about state government, county government, national government. But I also think that, no, I think the government study commission would not be a bad thing. After was 25 years, people were dealing with this. I think the government study commission would not be a bad thing if there was the money available. I don't think the money's available. The state helped with.
That's exactly
was
right.
involved. Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask is, it's just out of curiosity.
That's a great
That's a
question.
good question, and Yeah, where's BCTV? No, where's BCTV? Where is Spotlight? What is WFM?
BCTV is on.
Oh,
Thank you. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so.
the Reading Eagle.
There's, we have two participants on here.
We have two what?
We have two.
Who's that?
Hold on. I'll tell you right now. BCTV and Hannah Holtus.
And,
Hannah Holtus.
okay, we thank you for covering. So there's your shirt, there's your answer. There's your answer. Thank you very much.
Can I contribute some questions?
Are you finished yet? Okay.
That's why I put it out there. Questions.
Okay.
You did. All of that, all of that.
And I have a few,
Being young,
I'm okay. I could
Okay.
the mind.
all right,
I
that's
know
fine.
it's here, getting the balance is
Sure.
here better. So we're gonna give the fight for 5 years, so.
Okay, anybody else? Yes,
I have some questions.
Okay.
And like these aren't set in stone,
Okay,
they're
go ahead.
ideas,
These two.
and I'm
Go ahead.
hoping that sparks even more ideas, okay?
All right.
So one is the first, governance and representation. How do you define the role of a city council member in relation to the home charter? That's a basic question. Then in the charter,
Slow down.
oh, sorry. Do you want me to read the question again?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. What do you define the role of a city council member in relation to the home rule charter? Okay. My second question has to do with the review process. What is your understanding of and this is going to what Dave was, understanding of the purpose and scope of the home rule charter review commission? Okay. Number 3. How do you ensure that citizen voices, not just political ones, are reflected in your decision regarding charter amendment? Public engagement. I'm sorry. How do you ensure, and I can email that. How do you ensure? Yeah, I do. I can email that. How do you ensure that citizen voices, not just political ones, are reflected in your decision regarding charter amendment? Public engagement. What steps have you taken to engage your constituents in decisions about potential changes and or educating the people regarding the charter? You need me to rephrase that again? How do you plan to incorporate feedback from public hearings and surveys into your decision making process as a council member? Do you support placing proposed changes on the ballot only if they originate from citizen input? And that goes back to the 2021 referendum, where there was little to no input from the public because it was during COVID. And city council took it upon themselves to conveniently use that time to pass the trash mandate. Now, everybody has to have the trash because they knew that if they took it to the ballot, it wasn't going to pass. That's just one. Article 1204, they changed our initiative, our citizens initiative process during COVID. Nobody explained to the citizens how transferring from the city charter to the state option plan, Title 53, was going to either positively or negatively impact us. So people voted blindly, and that's exactly what I'm saying. So it benefited them by making it harder for us, or does it gonna benefit the citizens by making it easier. No one ever explained that in English or in Spanish. Now, the ethics and transparency. How do you avoid conflicts of interest when participating in decisions that may affect your own role or powers? Okay. Another one was what safeguards should be in place to prevent political influence. This is key, from dominating the charter review process. But not only charter review process, I'm also speaking to appointments to CRIS authority, the downtown strategic plan, the Mount Penn Preserve. All of that took place and the citizens were never involved. I didn't even find out about the Mount Penn Preserve until the night that city council was voting on it. How does that work? We weren't included in any of the talks that took place. And this is exactly, we lost our pagoda to the Mount Penn Preserve. And that's a landmark for the city. That's a citizen's landmark.
Can I input one thing? If you look at the charter amendments approved by referendum, not by initiative, approved by referendum, that means coming from city council. And you'll notice in 2014, the number that the charter amendments or the charter ballot questions. And then when you look at 2020, the number of those and what the quality is. But when you look at 2020, you'll see they only use the section numbers as if the citizens know what the section numbers, the home rule charter section numbers are. And so you have a whole list of that. So when you tell me that they have not influenced the form of government, it tells me they have had literally 12 years, 14 years, 15 years of managing our government as for the ballot. In other words, the charters have the vote on the charters have never been explained for 2014 right up to 2023. How can that happen and you have a working government? So those years, it's been amiss that the charter has not even been understood by the public. But yet all these amendments were done. And it doesn't make any sense. So you can't have a working government if people are changing it at every time. You know, that's just my concern here. And we have to deal with that. This is really an issue to deal with. So no, the charter is not working because it hasn't had a chance for the last so many years, 15, 20 years. So that's why this review commission is very, very important, like it's never been before. And then we've had a change in our demographics. The demographics, and we found out from the census that they were doing things in the census that was to create population explosion in the Caucasian community.
Just the way the questions were
Just
written.
by the questions that they were written. They asked in the beginning of the census, how do you identify yourself? And most Latinos said white.
They had no choice.
But then in the end of the survey, it said Well, if you said you were white, what European country do you come from?
That's
And
right.
then it went to, well, no, I'm from Puerto Rico, I'm from the Dominican Republic. So we know inside of the statistics was a bias. And we worked in the government, we worked in the census, and we were leadership in the census. So we know that there was, so what happened in the census? The Caucasian numbers
They were
rose.
because of the way the questions were exactly like this. First
So
question
we'll
was,
have to look at that.
are you Afro, Hispanic population?
When you ask about the race, it's different when you ask about your ethnicity.
Yeah,
It's different.
yeah, it was. And so now it was interesting because they asked if you were a Pacific Islander, born or on one of the islands in the Pacific Ocean. They asked if you were Alaskan, Eskimo Indian. They asked African American. They asked, but they never asked, are you an Afro-Latino Hispano from one of the islands in the Caribbean or South America or in Central America? That question was never asked. So the only way that people were able to answer was say, well, put me down as white. So then the next question, when we had no choice, was, okay, so you're white. Okay, no problem. So the very next question was, are you from Syria, one of the European countries? And they said, no, we're not, I'm not any of that. So then you're not white. So then therefore, the people that I educated, so then put down that you're Afro, Latino, so identify your African race, your Indian race, your Spaniard race, and your European, because we are a mixture of 4 different races composed as one. It's just different than what island we were born in.
So let's go back. This is important that we do this work, that we can correct the things that have been that have not been corrected, and that we move forward so that our government can work for the people, by the people, of the people. Not a machinery, not a particular party machinery. We want a government that's for the people. And that's that's why we have to do this work now. You know, that's how important. So that everybody can feel that they're a part of this. And the other thing, when you talked about the preamble, I wanted to speak about the preamble. I think we need to say that this is a non-discriminatory government. It does not say that. No, but that's just something I'm adding to that, because when we're talking about our government, we have to make sure that it states that it is with the Constitution, the state Constitution, and also this Constitution, you know. So at the least, you know, we need to deal with an anti-discriminating government. Okay, and when it doesn't have anything to do with DEI, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So that's just my input. But Sheila, we have to continue.
That's fine.
To now remember, we meet with them the first 4 next week. All right, next week. Now, what do we want to do in terms of listing our questions? And how do we decide what questions are going to be asked? By Monday? By Monday.
Well,
Can I ask everybody by Monday?
so we send them to you?
Please do,
Okay.
please do.
All
And
right.
then me and Ed will look at that and we'll make sure that they are legal and non-discriminatory in any way. And we'll make sure that you guys will get those list of questions by Tuesday. That would be when we have our executive meeting. So let's say by Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon.
Wow.
I want you, you know, when I was thinking about you, I was thinking that you were gonna conduct this, interview, you know, and we'd have you as the spokesperson.
That would be so dope.
Because you do that so well,
Yes.
Dave, you do that so well, so we don't have to ask the questions, you take the questions, and then yeah, we can take notes and things like that, Dave. You see what I'm saying?
Is it gonna be here?
It has to be in city council
Chamber.
chambers.
I think currently we're scheduled in 10 room next Thursday.
Okay, so can I ask Dr. Page something? Is it possible because, Deborah, are you on?
I am.
Okay, how is it in terms of listening? Because I know when I was listening and we didn't have any electricity in city council chambers, I couldn't hear anything. How about you?
I can hear when people are speaking loudly, but generally it sounds like the Peanuts, cartoon.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now, can I ask Dr. Page, is it possible that we can get some kind of microphone equipment so that when people do speak, not everybody, but with a microphone, and if he's conducting the interview, if that's what we're gonna request, then he can use that microphone so that the people at home can hear?
That's beyond my area or my department. That's a question for IT.
IT, okay, so we will ask IT.
But
so
if
that
it's
we
not,
can be
if it's
prepared.
not in here, the sound in the pen room and in the chambers is a lot better than potentially in here. So you shouldn't have that problem as much.
And my next question would be,
We asked for, hold on, Sheila, we asked for the public hearing to be scheduled in
Chamber,
the chamber, yeah.
okay.
May I,
city council-
from my perspective on Zoom, listening in, there is an option to show captions. And when you click on the captions, they work very well. And they give you an option it asks what your speaking language is. But when I put in Spanish, does not translate. It just comes as English. But in the event that I can't hear very well, the captions have been a great backdrop. But the problem is when the voices are too quiet, even the closed caption doesn't pick up.
And then my other question, Dr. Page, is there a reason, well, I don't know if you can find out, is there a reason why Chris is having their meetings in city council chambers?
There's a correction. Chris did not have a meeting in city council. There was another meeting in there this evening.
Okay, is
Who
there,
was it? Was it?
We can discuss that offline because I don't want to.
okay,
Oh, okay.
Because it's not my meeting. No, it's not my meeting.
It
In a
was a
sense,
public meeting.
it was a public meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
then that explains
Yeah.
that. Okay, thank you. Well, this is a public meeting too, isn't it? So,
But that may have already been scheduled, so that's the reason why.
okay.
So, like, 15 minutes ago, if we want to continue, having this, the 7:30. And you have. You haven't heard back. And those that do not, we can only, reschedule them if they, but we try to do it within the week or two that they gave. And I did check with Jane. So Ed, should we? Get
No,
it
we sent-
RSVP?
We sent letters inviting District 1, 2, 3, and 4 to attend next. You should follow up with them directly to confirm their attendance. Doesn't make sense for all 4 to show up at the same time.
Right. So we can assign the time of first. And I would say, let's take care of the business
After the,
opening, and then maybe by what,
you mean,
5:45 to start. 5:45. So the first one would be 5:45 to 6:00. And then give them a minute or two.
so, and then we would finish off the meeting once the interviews are done. Correct? Okay. Okay.
I would like to get your opinions and, feedback. So, thank you very much for coming, and I want to say this. You convinced me that we need to look at toxic trespass. Toxic trespass was an initiative a couple of years ago. Because now we have discovered that there are more people coming down being diagnosed with cancer than ever before. And now we know that the environment, the doctors are saying this is due to environmental issues, that we have, this issue. And as you know, there are so many programs and facilities that are now dealing with cancer. And so it looks like it's going to be an upward battle. And we're looking forward to helping people to understand it and to be.
Some information. Every minute, 1 people die for cancer. Every minute in the world.
Yeah.
And it is the second cause died cancer in the world. And here in Berks County, 37% of people have cancer.
Wow.
And here,
Yeah.
a lot of people, because a lot of causes that cancer, like the stress, food, fast food, stress, insomnia. The people doesn't sleep, diabetes, and stress, and insomnia, the food, a lot of things here. And then that's the causes a lot of cancer, even the children, everybody. You don't have age, no color, no nothing. Cancer is there.
I'm just saying that please come back. Because we want you to be able to see our content. Because I'm going to introduce my group the ability to see if we can create a toxic trespass ordinance. Or if not an ordinance, then a ballot. And yeah, working with the department.
There you go.
And EPA and also, nuclear regulatory commission. There's a lot of moving parts to make that happen.
Thank you for inviting us, the Hispanic Association from PA. We are available to help anybody come to us. We have a 724 line. We have a lot of people in crisis and in family, and they will need support. We give it everything about ourselves, our group. That's why now, in October 25th, we have they're working for health. We only send the teachers, because this is good for health, the patients, for anything in our association. No, it's down, no.
It's not for profit.
Thank you.
While you're saying that, the Sisters Network, which I would like to come together, of Reading, they're doing a Shine On, and it's an evening of hope and strength.
and that's coming up on the 18th of this month, 18th. And they have to get a speaker, so I'd like to hear that. Yeah, take that. And let's get together on that, because I think there's a major movement that we need to make to get, put together, so that we can have an understanding and a voice, so that we can prevent. That's the movement.
And thank you very much for inviting us to that very big meeting, important meeting for the city. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you very much. We had a public comment before, we wrapped up, but I think. Okay, so by Monday, we should have this question, all of you, and then Ed and I will come together on that, and we will then be able to move out the final thing. SAD, D.
Hey, before you hang up, is there a time for Monday that you have set up already?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is there a time for executive meeting Monday set up already so I can block it off?
11:30.
Thank you.
Are we still,
Welcome.
okay, 11:30, okay.
Thank you.
I'll send out a Zoom invite tomorrow as normal.
Good, Pam. You just wanna block it off.
Next time. Okay. So I would entertain.
So
Second. Thanks, Ed.
Good night, everyone.
All right, Dee, God bless you. All right. Okay. Yeah. Those questions are very important, so we'll look forward to putting them all together. Six one here. 780 860.
Yeah.
Well. I did, yeah, I did. Also, because they're coming, you know. Oh, are we gonna do our third? No, I can call,
You
yeah.
made me a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, we did, we had,
Good.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have with, yeah.
Yes, somebody, I think, make a motion.
Okay, that's